everyone. Welcome back to the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. Excited to be with you today to chat about another topic that recently came up in our mentorship group that I thought would be really great to bring to all of the listeners, whether or not you're a seasoned coach just starting out. I think it's something that everybody can resonate with, whether it be the past, having it come up for you, or something that you also still struggle with here and there. Maybe it just appears every now and then. And that is the topic of confidence. I had an IHP ask me, I'm really having a hard time getting from A to B when it comes to feeling confident in my ability to run labs, confident in my ability to read them, to present the information to clients. And we talked a lot about confidence, and I wanted to kind of compile it into one really accessible episode here for those that might need it. So first off, what is confidence? Well, confidence by definition is the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, a firm trust. And so we're talking about self-confidence, right? Trust in ourselves, that ability to rely on ourselves and believe in our ability to do X, Y, and Z. Confidence, I think, gets a confusing misunderstanding when it comes to how you build it. I'm going to share 4 key points with you today about confidence that I think are really important when it comes to starting your practice and also having a practice that thrives. So let's get into it without further ado. So for the first thing that we're going to kind of talk about when it comes to confidence is, and I believe that this is perhaps the most important, confidence comes from action. A lot of coaches think that once they have more knowledge, once they have more information, once they have more followers, once they have more contacts, they'll have the confidence to do the thing, right? Work with more clients, launch their business. But confidence actually comes from taking the action. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. Confidence isn't something that you wait for before you act, but it's something that's built through doing. And this is really important to consider because we can waste so much time. I know I did. I spent so much time waiting to, know as much as Dr. Cabral knew, or waiting to feel like I had, more quote unquote confidence or, more belief in myself to do the thing that I wanted to do. I remember when Dr. Cabral asked me to host this podcast, I was like, well, I don't really know how to do it. I've never podcasted before. And he was like, well, neither did I until I started podcasting. And I was like, true. I think we can see people who are like so far down the line from where we are and think that they must have been in a different place when they started than we are at right now. But sometimes that's not true. The difference is they started and maybe you haven't. So confidence it's built through doing. This was part of what I talked about with these mentorship students is you will get more confident at reading labs the more you read labs. And so it has to be that you kind of start with that idea that clarity and credibility, they grow through your experience. So the experience of working with clients, the experience of reading the labs, your credibility doesn't just grow through what you know, your certifications and your credentials. It builds through everything that you learn as you do the thing, right? In this instance, health coaching. So it's really important to understand that the confidence will come as you continue to take action. Okay. You can't think your way into confidence. You have to practice it. And doing it is the fastest, most reliable way to actually get there and get to the point where you can feel like you can trust ourselves, right? If you had to trust someone else to do something, are you going to trust them more as they continue to do the thing? Sure. If you needed a friend to kind of show up for you in a certain way and they did it, your trust would build with them. It's no different than ourselves. If you continue to show up and do the work that it takes to maybe read more readily or work with clients or show up and do a talk or start a podcast, you start to believe more in yourself. That builds confidence. It's no different than how we relate to others. It's just often that we give ourselves less or the least of what we're willing to give someone else. So really important to keep in mind. You start imperfectly before you feel like you're ready. And then that confidence builds, taking that messy action. Confidence comes from action, not perfection. Really big, important takeaway there. Okay, the second is going to be that if you can feel imposter syndrome and you can feel comparisonitis and you feel like you're constantly, putting yourself against someone else, that can actually be a sign of growth. So if you're feeling, let's just say, like an imposter and you're not feeling confident, it usually means that you're stretching beyond your comfort zone. And that's a good thing. Okay. Experienced professionals typically will feel this to some degree, and it's just a part of leveling up. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. It just means that you're in an uncomfortable transition of really growing. And so you want to reframe the feelings of imposter syndrome as signs of growth. Don't take it as, something that you need to run from or something that you need to fix, but more normalize it. Okay. Oh, this is imposter syndrome. That means I'm growing. This is something that happens when we feel like we're getting out of our comfort zone. Because if you're in your comfort zone, you can have a lot of confidence doing the small things that you already know how to do. But when you're kind of expanding that and you're moving into new territory, you can feel like you're comparing yourself more. And that's where the imposter syndrome can sneak in. This one is tricky with social media. We've never been able to compare ourselves so much to so many people than ever before. Like right now, you can compare yourself to anybody and everybody. And that's hard. We also have the ability to have role models and mentors. That person's doing exactly what I want to be doing. They're how I want to be. What can I implement? What have they done in the past, or what are they currently doing? You can do that too, right? You can use comparison as a really great positive because you're able to draw on all of the really positive things that someone has done to kind of grow their practice or grow their knowledge. But if you are finding that you're comparing yourself in an imposter kind of way and you're getting down on yourself, stop and reframe it and just think, I'm growing, I'm expanding beyond my comfort zone. And that's why I'm feeling this way. Not because I shouldn't be here or because I shouldn't be teaching this or learning this or explaining this to clients, but because this is uncomfortable and out of my comfort zone. But like I said, the confidence builds through action, and sometimes that action can feel really tricky in the beginning. Know that it leads to more confidence down the line. Okay, number 3 is kind of own your zone of genius, even if you're still learning. Coaches often underestimate the value of what they already know. This was something else that I was really trying to get these newer coaches to understand, which is if you're meeting with a client and say you're talking about minerals and metals test, you already know so much more about that test, what it means, and what you can do to help that client than the client knows. You might not know as much as your friend who's been a coach for 6 years, or you might not know as much as Dr. Cabral, or you might not know as much as the person whose book you're reading, but you know more than the person who needs your help. And that's all that matters. We aren't doing brain surgery. We're not doing anything extreme that is anything besides helping someone foundationally support their body and really get to the bottom of their deficiencies and their toxicities. And not that it's simple work, but it is work that you can do without being a naturopathic doctor. You already know more than the client. You already can deliver really beneficial information that can help them to move the needle on their own health, right? And we know that when somebody does that, they're more likely to show up in the world differently. They might get the bug for certainly holistic health. It might be their introduction to looking at their health differently. And what a beautiful gift you've just given them, simply by giving them the education of what the test means and what you know. Your confidence will grow when you own your wins and acknowledge your unique strengths, perspectives, and your own story. It's not when you try to be someone else. It's not when you get down on yourself for not knowing X, Y, and Z. It's not when you overcomplicate labs. It's when you really just acknowledge your unique strengths, your understanding of the information, and how you relate to clients. We all have different personalities. We all relate to clients differently. But the only thing that matters is that you've delivered hope and some sort of actionable data to the client who needs to hear it. right? That's what it's all about. You don't have to be the expert. You just have to give guided, valuable information and a valuable experience for that client. Lots of people on social media saying that only certain people should be doing X, Y, and Z. Again, we're not brain surgeons. We are health coaches, integrative health practitioners that are helping clients rebalance their deficiencies and their toxicities. It's really that simple. And if we keep it simple and we keep it to the point where we want to be of service and we want to be of meaning to somebody else's life and wellness journey, it takes the pressure off of thinking of things so seriously, right? You create like a proof list. If you're having a hard time, right? Get a list of all of the ways that you've maybe helped others or helped yourself overcome things or family members so that you can see just in black and white that you are already there. You're there enough. You've learned enough. You know enough. You just need to now take the actionable steps to continue to help more people, and your confidence will build from there. Okay. All right. Number 4 is you build confidence through connection and community. This is a big one, in my opinion, and this is why I believe IHP is set apart from so many other certifications, because we have that connection, we have that community. It's like a community like no other. Confidence expands when you surround yourself with supportive peers and mentors. And I think that that is something really unique to the Integrative Health Coach Practitioner Institute. It's certainly something that I love a lot about it. Do yourself a little favor. If you're listening to this and you're going to be at RHS, take a little bit of an inventory about your confidence before and then your confidence after. You probably will have gained some knowledge, but if you feel more confident leaving there, it's probably because you just connected and felt really in tuned with a lot of supportive peers and mentors. It's that connection, it's that community, it's the collaboration instead of comparison. It shifts your focus from that scarcity mindset to kind of shared growth, really. And it's an energetic shift. Kind of, we're all doing this beautiful work and putting it out into the world together. Take inventory of your confidence before RHS if you're going, and then take your inventory after. I guarantee you, you will feel supercharged with self-trust, confidence, and yes, the information will be incredible, will be a big part of that, but it will be a big part of the connection, the community, feeling supported, feeling held, feeling motivated. So do not discredit how much connection and community will help you thrive from a confidence standpoint when maybe yours is a little bit low, right? Surround yourself with people that are walking, talking, thinking like you and doing the things that you want to do too. They might not even have all their confidence yet, but they're doing it, right? So connecting with people who are already kind of enacting all of the same things that you want to is going to kind of help you get there faster, right? You can join masterminds or collaborative circles. You can have an accountability partner. You can hire a mentor. You can do mastery for IHP, which is amazing. You could do the CPC mentorship. It is really about finding someone that is practicing within that IHP mindset, right? Keeping it simple and doing something that really allows you to step into almost like borrowing. You're like borrowing their superpower, right? To step into the role that you really want to fulfill, and having the self-confidence comes from having the support. So you're basically borrowing it from somebody else. I still do this on days where I don't feel as confident or I feel like I'm second guessing myself. I have plenty of people that I go to. I'm lucky enough that Dr. Cabral is one of them. And it's basically that you are borrowing their ability to trust in you so that you can trust in yourself. Right? It's really beautiful to have those relationships. So reach out to someone that feels like you can do that. Other IHPs are great. We have so many of them within the community. I'm always here for anybody who needs me. We have a wonderful IHP staff, but confidence is built through connection and community. Like I said, it's a huge predictor of how well you're able to build that self-trust and show up in the world, which is why I believe it was a big part of Dr. Cabral's build. When he built IHP, it was a big part of the foundation of IHP because he knew that. So let's go through them all. I gave you 4. And I think they're all really important. The first one, like I said, I think being a very important one to consider. And that was that confidence comes from action, not perfection. So don't wait for things to be perfect. Just take action. And as you start to see that you can trust yourself, your confidence builds. Okay. If you're feeling imposter syndrome, reframe it as a sign of growth. You are stepping out of your comfort zone. You are getting into something that isn't feeling as natural, but that doesn't mean it's not right. It just means that it's uncomfortable, and your confidence will build as you continue to get better at it. 3 was own your zone of genius. Wherever you are, know that you already know enough, and you might still be learning. We're all still learning. I'm still learning. Dr. Cabral is always learning. That's the best part of this industry. But where you are right now is enough to get started, and you will continue to learn as you even build more confidence because you've already started. Your confidence grows when you own your wins and you acknowledge that unique strength, perspective, and story. Okay. Build confidence through connection and community. We just talked about this one. I love this one. I think it's so important. It's why I love the CPC mentorship. It's why I love mastery, because you're with a group of people who are all really trying to attain the same thing. And it's to take the knowledge that they have and be able to step into a role where they trust themselves enough to help someone else. And that's really all it's about. And you all are smart enough, compassionate enough, empathic enough to do that in a way that really supports anybody who needs you. All right. I hope you all found this episode helpful. Love sharing these tips with you. If you have anything that you want me to elaborate on, feel free to reach out and give us your next topic. If not, I'll keep coming up with them, especially through conversations that I have with other IHPs, and we'll see you next time.